Welcome back. We have Dr. Todd Bell joining us this morning, and he's here to talk about, now that summer has begun, a lot of kids are going to be outside playing soccer, different sports like that, but there's always the, fact that they may get a head injury or some type of injury. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the things that you've seen in the past?
Sure. Yeah, we get a lot of injuries that occur. Obviously, kids are kids and they're going to be doing everything to the maximum. But we also know that, or have learned over the years, that head injuries are a bigger issue than what we maybe used to think. We've known for a while that head injuries that are significant enough to cause concussions or loss of consciousness are really problematic, and those children need to be sitting out, need to be seen by their doctor. But there's been some recent data that's come out that shows that even relatively mild injuries to the head that may not even cause any symptoms over time may also potentially cause problems. There was a recent article that came out in the journal Radiology where they took a group of good amateur soccer players and they just asked them, how many times have you headed the ball in the past year or so? And then they had them do some cognitive tests, so had them do some memory tests. They also did a type of imaging of the brain in order to be able to look and see how the brain responded to those injuries. And even in those injuries, those heading of the ball that weren't significant enough to cause any symptoms, those kids who had done a lot of heading of the ball seemed to have more troubles with something they called the white matter in the brain and some of the memory issues than kids who had only done it some. Now, it was a small study. Hard to know if we're going to be able to find an individual threshold for a certain player, but I think that the point remains that if a child's doing something, playing a game that involves hitting their head, they need to be really cautious of that, and parents need to be cognizant of the fact that we want to limit those types of exposures.
What is the first thing parents should do?
Well, if a child's had an actual concussion, they need to, first of all, make sure that the child's laying down or is in a position that they're going to be able to be comfortable. They need to contact their physician or their urgent care or ER if a child has actually had a concussion. The kid needs to stay out of the game. If the kid's playing football, has a head injury and has a headache or has a loss of consciousness, they're out of that game entirely, and they actually need to be evaluated by their doctor before they get back into another game.
All right, great information. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be right back.